I wasn't going to make this video today, but I think you might like to watch an experiment with me. I'm Jen with Sewing Machine Rehab. I restore vintage sewing machines and I restore a lot of the Black Beauties. This is a Singer Featherweight 222 and I love Zymol Cleaner Wax. If you've watched my channel before, you know I talk about it all the time. It is truly one of the best polishes I have found for the bodies, the painted parts of these machines. But there is a problem with Zymol Cleaner Wax that I haven't talked about and I haven't heard anyone else talk about, but I'm sure we're all noticing it if we've done this a number of times. When you have a machine that's in really good shape for the most part, but it has the usual nicks and scratches, the wear and tear of 75 years of living and being sewed on, sometimes when you use the Zymol, it doesn't hurt the finish, but it gets stuck in those tiny little nicks and cracks. And you can see it even when you're done polishing off the machine. I notice it shows up in photos, especially more than to the naked eye. That bothers me. So I, sometimes like to try new things, and I found something that I want to try with you today to see if it works and if it solves that problem. It's not a polishing or a cleaning problem. It is a residue problem, I guess you could call it. So we're going to test out a new product and see, will it solve this little issue or not? Would I consider switching over from Zymol to this new product? And for the record, I bought this product. This isn't sponsored. This is me wanting to bring you the best tips and tricks possible for restoring machines like this and making them look and so wonderful. So I'm going to move my camera and let's take a look at this new product I'm talking about. Okay, so here we are, and please pardon the mess because I'm working on one of my own machines. And like I said, I wasn't planning on filming, but here we have this lovely 222, and for the most part, it's in pretty good shape. I can show you the bed extension here. See, it's not in bad shape at all. It does have a few little nicks and scratches. Here is a nice scratch that the Zymol would usually collect in that, and I would feel like it's more pronounced when I'm finished polishing the machine. So what product am I talking about? This is the old one. This is what I like to use. This is the new one that I'm going to try. The company is Car Gods. Here's the thing, Diamond Black Wax. Now, it doesn't say it's a cleaner wax, so we'll see how that goes. If it's going to get certain residue and stuff off the machine that I know Zymol will do the job on. This is different because it's black. So if it does get stuck in little scratches, is it going to show up? Or is it going to be invisible to the eye and not be a distraction when we're looking at the finished polished machine? So I am wearing gloves for a multitude of reasons today, but this, since it's black, definitely you don't want to get it on your hands. So I'm going to do what I always do, give it a good shake, and then I have just a little glass bowl. I'm going to put some in there. That should be more than enough. And I'm going to pick a place to start on this machine. First, we're going to test out, does it like clean residue off? So if you look here on the top, this is old built up oil from the machine being oiled, the needle bar and the presser bar on this machine. And usually the Zymol Cleaner Wax will clean this off and shine it at the same time. So I'm going to put it on a Q-tip and just see with a little scrubbing, can we get this off or not? Okay, you should be able to see that. So I'm just going to dip a Q-tip in this black wax, and I'm going to just do what I would normally do with the Zymol. And we're just going to rub it in those areas where there's that residue. And with the Zymol, I would usually just go until it kind of gets tacky and starts to dry. And I'm going to give this 2 tries because sometimes with more built up oil and old gunk, it takes 2 tries even with the Zymol. So I'm going to be fair. All right, let's go over this now with a shop towel and see. I'm trying out a new shop towel as well. I'll see if I can link it in the description. It's by Scott's, but it's supposed to have less lint. Okay, well, I would say that looks slightly better. That's about what I could expect from the Zymol first pass. So we're gonna go over this again and just see. So I don't get to work on my machines very often. I have a collection of them that I have purchased to restore and to sell. And sometimes I will hear from you all asking if I have any. And usually the answer is yes. It's just I haven't got to the restoring part. But I'm waiting for some machines to come back from my painters. And I'm kind of just in a holding pattern. So this is a great time for me to work on my own collection and kind of make it a little smaller, hopefully. So you hear that squeaky sound, that probably means this is ready to wipe off. Oh yeah, that is very shiny. And I missed some here and there's a tiny bit here, but to me, that's worth the elbow grease. Let's find another spot. Make sure you can see. Here we've got like a gunky spot. I don't know if this is scratched or just gunk, so we're just gonna give it a little try. See if it actually comes off or if it just polishes it up a little bit. Now on tiny spots, I use the Q-tips, but when I get to the bigger surface areas of the machine, I usually use a towel like this. Okay, so that doesn't look too different to me. Let me try just a little bit more. I was finally able to buy a new tripod, which probably doesn't make a difference to you, but it does to me because it's a more of a monopod style. It just has a very small footprint. And I don't have to work around all those legs like I was, so I'm really appreciating that right now. Okay, let's see. Polish that off. Slightly better. Can you see that? So let's see. This wouldn't be a real test if we didn't give the Zymol a chance. So a little bit of Zymol on my Q-tip. Hopefully this isn't like watching paint dry for you all. I think it's good to know though. So let's see. See, even less. That still looks a little bit better to me. So maybe for the really stubborn areas, the Zymol is a good starting point, but then where you have the scratches, which usually the bed of the machine is where I really notice the issue with seeing the cleaner wax getting left in those little cracks and not being able to get it out. So last time with this black one here. Okay. not too bad. What do you think? I think that looks really pretty decent. Let's try it. We tried it on a dirty spot where we knew there was some stuff that needed to be cleaned off. Let's try it on the entire bed of the machine and see how that goes. So, and in particular, make sure I'm still in frame. Right here is kind of I think that's more of a scratch, and then there are definitely scratches here. So the way that I would apply this to a bigger area is with a towel, a shop towel, or these cotton cleaning rounds that you can buy for a few dollars. So I like to use these too. And this is why I'm wearing gloves, because now there's no way to keep it off my fingers. So I'm just going to put it on. And let's see how it looks when we're done. I'm really focusing too on the places that look like they might be chipped. Okay, and come back with another one that's clean. Well, I don't see it highlighting the cracks like I usually notice. I think I can still see a little bit of a film, so I'm just gonna go over it. Hey, you know what? That is pretty darn good. This is never going to go away. That is a chip in the paint, which you could touch up if you want. Just seeing if I can make it look any better. So, what do you think? I think this might be a really good solution for those machines where we do have, whether it's like the little pin marks from people bumping pins into the machine or scratches. You'll get a lot of pin marks right here on the body sometimes on certain machines. So do you want me to try it? Let's see what it does to this really scratched area right here. Make sure you can still see that. I probably could use, yeah, that's probably easier. Okay. Okay, so I don't think it polished out too many of the scratches, but it also did not leave behind that light blue that we get from the Zymol. And frankly, without wet sanding and doing a lot of work, you're not going to get rid of those surface scratches. I want to try one more place. Just figuring out where. Do you see right here? This is more just buildup of old oil. This is really easier actually. Little makeup round. And I am applying pressure here. This finish is not degraded. I'm not worried about it coming off. Look at that. And that's just with me sitting here testing it out. I'm not, working hard to get this machine really polished like I would if I were just doing it off camera. So there you go. So there you go. What do you think? This has been my favorite go-to. I have a feeling I'm still going to use it a lot, but were you noticing the same things that I was noticing with the Zymol, getting stuck in the little nooks and crannies and you couldn't get it out? What do you think of this? I think it's a winner. I'm going to link it down below. I'd love to hear your feedback. If you have had issues with the Zymol hanging out in places where you couldn't get it off, did you find a way to remedy that? I think this is a really good option. I would not use this on any machine, obviously, other than a black machine, for obvious reasons. So I hope you enjoyed that. I'm always trying to help. I know so many of you follow along and restore your own sewing machines, and if I find something good, I'm going to tell you about it. This is awesome. Cargod's Erebus Diamond Black wax, and it does work as a cleaner wax, it looks like, so it can be a 2-in-1. I believe this is a Carnauba wax. I probably should have checked that out, whoops, before I brought it up. Doesn't say. Well, what it says is, bring forth the God of darkness for an easy way to restore, polish, and wax your black car or sewing machine, all in one easy application. So to me, that says it's cleaning the machine. So anyway, let me know your thoughts. Maybe this is the godsend you've been looking for from the Cargods. That's it. I'm going to get back to work. I hope you all have a wonderful day. Bye.